Nicktropolis was released in January of 2007 and was made by Nickelodeon to cash in on the boom of the children's MMORPGs of the early 2000s. I myself even took a spin at the game, playing it way back when, and I remember enjoying it quite a bit. The game was set up in an isometric 3D view using the Theo SDK. The SDK came with a Theo isometric engine and a map editor that would make building the game a lot easier. So, how is the game like itself? The game featured a large collection of worlds from Nickelodeon shows such as SpongeBob SquarePants, Danny Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, and even El Tigre. You were able to go around and chat with other players in the worlds, and chat with the characters that showed up in their individual shows, who would respond accordingly based on what you said. The chat filter in the game was extremely restrictive, either allowing you to put in preset stuff, or if you had a parent's permission, you were allowed to type from a very limited dictionary that filtered pretty much everything that you shouldn't be saying as a kid. And, of course, with it being a children's MMORPG, you could create your own in-game avatar with full customization, and it had its own housing that you were able to go and decorate. There was also mini-games that you could play throughout the worlds. Though, because the game is very heavily lost media, I can't actually find any of the games for once. This makes me pretty sad because I really like talking about the mini-games in these kinds of old-fashioned MMORPGs. So if you happen to remember what any of them are, please put them in the comments. I'd love to read them. Pause right there, old me. I don't know why my voice sounds different for this recording, but this was done in post. Turns out there is a couple of the mini-games that are actually found. Mostly the SpongeBob ones, because I'm imagining that was the most popular out of them all. The ones that I have so far found is this whack-a-mole game and the ring toss. I do remember them now that I've seen pictures of them, but other than those, I can't really find anyone else. So I'll just let myself continue from the past. One thing that is still around though is this fish game. You're able to make your own fish and take care of it, as well as give it some customization. This was such a major feature that most of the trailers that I can find have this aquarium feature in it. One other fun fact to note is that the game really liked marketing, and not just for itself and Nickelodeon products. They had a world for Nintendo, which is really weird of a company to be working with, but you were able to go into a world and there was a giant DS and Wii. That's really interesting because I would never see Nickelodeon and Nintendo working together, but here it is. Okay, so now let's get into some of the more finite details that aren't directly related to the game. Alex Westerman was one of the leads for the game and provides some good insight for the game. Two things that Alex actually talks about is that he can't give away the files to anyone because he's under contract from multiple different people, and that the game has a proprietary software in a couple of spots that make it so even if you did get all the files, the game just wouldn't work. The strangest thing though with the proprietary software is that Nick seems to be the only one who's done this, as games like Club Penguin and Fusion Fall from Disney and Cartoon Network respectively don't have it. Those games are fully recreated and it's strange, but I guess Nick genuinely cared about the safety of children in its game, and that's kind of admirable. One other fun thing though while I was doing the research for this is Alex's website for the game says it did extremely well, but then he goes and provides stats and they're all broken and default to 0, so it's kind of funny. There exists a few fan recreations that use assets cut out from the game pictures and videos, but the full game is locked away somewhere in someone's computer somewhere. I honestly don't think we'll ever see this game come back like we do Fusion Fall or the other ones, because it just doesn't seem like it ever will. But who knows? I've seen crazier things happen on the internet, so maybe in the future someone will make a video titled Nicktropolis is back. But only time will tell.